Right. Now the thing is that here, boys, if you learn your electric charges properly, electric charges and electric fields, if you understand this concept of electric field, then it will be easier for you to later on learn about magnetic fields, right? So it's very important. So whatever concept you learn in your electric field, then in that case, the same thing applies for your magnetic field. So you should make sure you understand each and every concept of your electric field. So the first part of this chapter is you'll understand the basic properties of electric charge. Then you'll be able to differentiate conductors and insulator based on these electric charges. Then you will be distinguishing any material based on charging by contact, charging by induction. I think so. Charging by contact, you very well know about it. Charging by induction is a new concept you will be studying right now. Charging by polarization is not there for your syllabus. So you'll be first and foremost, you'll be studying about the basic properties of electric charges. Then you'll be able to differentiate between conductors and insulators based on the electric charges. Then how will you charge a substance or a material? There are two processes. One is charging by conduction, the other one charging by induction. Okay. Are you clear of all these things? There are only two charges, positive and negative. Is there any other charge, boys? Are you aware of any other charge apart from positive charge and negative charge?
No.
Is this fine, positive and negative charge? Then you know there are forces between two charges. Suppose if I have a charge plus Q1 plus Q2. Now tell me what will be the nature of the force between these two charges? What will be the nature?
Repulsive.
Repulsive force, right? It will be repulsive. If I have a charge minus
Ma'am, do you
5
want to write any of
coulomb,
this?
yes, is what? No need, no need. These are the basic things. Minus 5 coulombs, say plus 3 coulomb, because your charges are measured in coulombs. If you have two charges, minus 5 coulomb plus 3 coulomb, what will be the nature of the force between these two charges?
Attractive.
Attractive forces, right? So like charges repel, unlike charges attract one another, then charge is conserved. We'll see what do you mean by charge is conserved and charge is quantized. The, the next important property is the total charge on a system is the algebraic sum of all the charges contained in it. So if you want to start, you can start with this, boys. The chapter, 1 second, write the chapter 1, you start writing chapter 1, electric charges and fields. Electric charges and fields. You can start with the properties of electric charges. Start with properties of electric charges. So you can write like charges repel, unlike charges attract one another. We'll see what do you mean by conservation of charges and quantization of charges in the next slide. Please do write all the 3 points. In addition to that, you write this. The total charge on a system. System means suppose if I have a body, right? A body consists of say a charge of plus Q, a charge of 3Q. This is a system which consists a number of charges. A system which consists of a number of charges. The total charge will be Q plus 3Q. So that will be 4Q. If a system has a charge 5Q and minus 7Q, we have a positive charge and a negative charge, then the total will be -2. So this is the additivity of charges. Sign should be taken into consideration. Right, boys? Write all these properties of electric charge. 1 second, boys. 12th standard, you want to do experiment potentiometer. Are you all fine? Potentiometer. Meter bridge. If you want, you connect and check. This apparatus is there. Just go connect and do. It's fine for you. Liquid lens. Just go do that. You have a spherometer. Please check the values. Boys. Yes. Do you, sorry, 11th, sorry, boys, 1 second. Sorry, boys, 1 second. Sorry, boys. So, electric charges. What is conservation of charges? The conservation of charge is that, now suppose if I have a glass rod, now if I am rubbing the glass rod with a silk cloth, now what happens is that the glass rod will lose electron, right? Then your silk cloth, so that it becomes positively charged, the silk cloth will gain electrons. So whatever has been lost by the glass rod will be gained by the silk cloth, so that the total charge will remain is conserved. The charges are not created, but it is not being lost. If your glass rod loses 2 electrons, it will gain 2 positive charges. Is that clear, boys? If it loses 4 electrons, it will gain 4 positive charges. So this is what we call it as conservation of charges. Conservation of charges. So your charges are not being lost. If the charge is lost by one body, the other body will gain the charge. Okay, just check. So properties of electric charge. Electric charge is quantized. 1 second, boys. 12B. In case if the CBSE comes back with your investigatory project, most probably they'll come back with investigatory project for your batch. If that is the case, you know what is investigatory project? Apart from the laboratory experiment, you have to select any experiment. It can be in electricity, it can be in optics, it can be in magnetism, or right. For example, if you want to make a device like alarm system, you can make an alarm system, right? So otherwise, digital electronics. So it is up to you. For I think for safety purpose, you can right now work on your projects. If you want to do your projects individually, you can go for individual project, or if you want to go for projects along with your friends, at least 3 members can join together and go for a project. Which one would you prefer? You want to do individually, or you want to do a group work? Which one would you prefer, boys?
Individual is fine.
Individual, but
Both can
generally
happen, right?
it is, yeah, both can happen. Generally it is a group teamwork. 3 of you can club together and go for your project, or else what you can do is that individually you can go for your project. And there is a way, sometimes what happens is that students, yes,
3 people.
sometimes students will combine both chemistry and physics aspect. For example, if you want to find the internal resistance of a cell, then you have to create a cell. So for the cell creation, students use chemistry laboratory. The same apparatus will be brought back to, so you are, say, you are fabricating a cell in your chemistry laboratory using any electrolyte, using any electrodes. See, once you have fabricated a cell, you can bring the cell from the chemistry laboratory, you can bring it to physics lab, and at the same time, you can measure the internal resistance of the cell, and you can check what are the factors that will affect the internal resistance of a cell. This is one example I have given. Or else, there is one more experiment, what we call it as surface tension. You have your detergents, you have various brands of your detergents, there are various brands of your detergents. Now, how to check which detergent has a greater cleansing ability? You can grade your detergents. So what you can do is that you can bring three samples of any detergents you are using. So in the laboratory, you have an experimental setup, capillary rise method, by using the concept of surface tension, what you have learned in your lower 11th grade. So there is an experimental setup where you can find the surface tension. Based on the surface tension, you can measure the cleansing ability of the detergent. So as the cleansing ability of the detergent is measured, you can grade your detergents. So this is the grading of your detergents can be done. Then one thing what I have told is that whatever you need to do in chemistry lab, you can fabricate a cell or whatever it is, you can bring it to the physics lab, right? You can combine both the lab works, that is equally good. Anyway, you're not bio students. So, or else we have apparatus based on magnetism. Anything you want to do in magnetism, fine. Anything you want to do in capacitors, fine. Anything you can do in electrical circuits. Have you heard about breadboard? Have you heard about breadboard?
Yes, ma'am.
No.
Yes.
Only few have heard about breadboard. Now, breadboard is a simplified version, boys. See, what happens basically in practicals, laboratory, you connect your apparatus by using your copper wires, metallic wires. Instead of that, there is a conducting path. You don't require such huge apparatus setup. Even your resistors will be in the form of 1 centimeter. That is all carbon resistors you can use. You can use your LDRs, that is light dependent resistor. If at all you go, if you want to make an alarm system, you can make an alarm system. Long back, I have seen some students making a system. Suppose you open up a tap, it is filling the water in a bucket. If the water level rises above certain level, an alarm should be activated. So those such activities can be performed. So it is up to you, boys. Just it's better. What you can do is now your portions have just started. So now it's you have enough time. You can find your friends. There is nothing like that, but of your class, not more than 3 of you. It can be a team of 2 members. It can be a team of 3 members, or individually. So if even you can go for your Google site, check what might be the activities for grade 12 investigatory activities. Just check, or else what you can have, what our laboratory can provide you. One is transformers. Have you heard about transformers? You have transformers even in your can you see your charge holder, your charges adapter? No, what is your adapter? First, the charge cord which you connected to your laptops, that has your adapter will have step down transformers. Have you heard? Have you seen the transformers somewhere near the roads? You have a large transformer,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Each and every electrical equipments what you use. What is the electrical voltage you get from your electrical supply? When you switch on your circuit, what is the voltage you're getting? What is the voltage you get?
Sorry to interrupt you, but we all students are to report in the well-being meeting.
All students have to report to?
The well-being meeting.
Okay, fine.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you, boss. We'll continue tomorrow. Fine, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You can leave. Thank you, boss. You can leave. So just keep in mind, boys, just for your investigatory project, keep working and just later on we'll discuss with you. You can join your well-being meeting.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.